know,
So,
we have our honored guest all the way from
Lebanon,
Lebanon,
Missouri.
Missouri. Just to let you guys know, it is so amazing. This woman is a superwoman. She drives 4 hours to go to St. Louis, Missouri, stayed the international airport, the hub, airport hub from Lebanon with the two boys. And your boys are Bruce and
Red Rico.
Rodrigo.
Mhm.
Wow, that's pretty unique.
I know. It's a Filipino name.
Frederico.
Yeah.
Wow, it's an
He
old
don't-
school name,
He
but it's
don't, he
really
don't, he don't
cool.
like it, but that's what
Didn't
his
like it when you
dad is
grow up.
giving him, so he's stuck with it.
Right, and she came in here, checked into the airport, checked in at the hotel, and she's very comfortable. I just love the fact that she's very free-spirited, she's tenacious, she's bold, she is just awesome, and I'm just so glad to connect with her. And you guys can really feel it as we start talking about her. So I know, before that, I really want to welcome me. I've not been gone, I've been away for a while, and I miss you all. You just don't know how I miss you all. Now, I see that some people are are shy in opening up their camera. I really hope, there's only 9 of us. Please go ahead and turn them on. Um, the fact that we're going to do a global business preview, but I do want to find out, are there anybody here that are first timer? Did you bring invites? So we're going to tailor our presentation based on the people that are here. So you go ahead and unmute and just shout out loud, hey, I'm new. Let me hear the whole kit and caboodle, trips and tricks. Poison, Emil, would love to see your face. Oh, I'm back. I'm making people like open up so we know what you guys look like. Voltage, woo! Jeff said voltage, BB, Alex, please turn on your camera. And I want to acknowledge while we're waiting for folks to get bold in opening up their camera. Miss Kelly, thank you. It's good to see your face again, your pretty face.
Yes,
And,
we missed you.
I miss you too. And I want to thank Nathan Dimayuga, our staff from Uno Premier. Thank you so much for making this happen. And Happy New Year to everyone. I want to acknowledge Mary Dell. Hi, Nathan. You don't need that mask. Hi, Poison. Where are you tuning in from, Poison? And I'm happy to see Diane is connecting. Diane, red lines are grand app line. Thank you so much for your support. I want to acknowledge Marcia from downstairs. Hi, Marcia. Maridel, welcome. Maridel is from Malaysia. Am I correct? Okay, again, of all the 10 that are here, please let us know if you are a new invite or you have not heard a US global presentation before. You guys can unmute. Miss Kelly, help me facilitate. You probably know these people more than me.
I think we're all members here.
Okay. That is good to
There's
know.
no reaction for when you ask for anyone who's new. So I think most of here are members and distributors.
All right. Well, thank you for recording, Nathan. So we're going to get started. Jeffrey Brewster has suggested that let's get on to business and let's get on to having a real conversation. So guys, at this point, I want you to just jump in as we get started. What I really want to start off is, number one, I want to welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you for the some comfort food last night. It's really good. Yeah, my sons are we're eating the adobo because they love.
Oh,
the-
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad. So what happened is they came and Ruth, I called Ruth, I said, check in. I didn't want to push them into coming to the house or doing anything, because that's a long flight, for her to be here. And I'm really
I
honored that
love
you're making
flying.
that. That's good. And we're gonna talk more about, your hopes and dreams, and we're gonna focus on that later part of this show. But right now, I want to do a shout out for people who are committed to be here. And Miss Diane, I'm glad that you are here. We love you. Good to see you. We're gonna talk about a challenge these days, and we're gonna get into the business preview, somewhat hybrid.
Yes.
Okay. And I want to just go ahead and delve in. What is really the challenge right now for global leaders in putting out Premier Plus? There have been conversations back and forth, offline and online, about people that are just totally confused what Uno Local and what Premier Plus is, the compensation package. What is the best way to do it? What is the existing structure at this point? And then we have leaders here and people that have been in the business for a long, long time. Let's just open up the conversation. So with that, I just want to go ahead and delve into my slides. If you would allow me to get into sharing my screen. Nathan, can you let me share my screen, please? Or whoever is the host. Hey, DJ, welcome, DJ. Let me see your pretty face, my son. Oh, he's gonna hate me.
Yeah.
Oh, he is silly. All right, let me share my screen. And just a reminder how these things work. I'm just going to advance a slide slowly to get a refresher of what we really try to come across. I want to let you know that the team here in Cincinnati, USA, are volunteer pioneering leaders in the US who have been generous with their time for close to 2 years now. We are so dedicated because we believe in the products, and thank God that we have very supportive global partners like Ms. Kelly and some of the folks that are here. I do want to mention Ahmad, people in Hong Kong, Nigeria, United Arab Emirates. We are just so happy that you are keeping us alive by visiting us on Wednesdays. But we need more from you all. So this time around, I really want to have a crucial conversation. We, the Cincinnati team, we, the USA team, want to have a crucial conversation. How are we going to move on in order for 2022 to become real, that we're able to go ahead and sit at the podium and announce to the world, we're making money, we're doing great, we're impacting lots and lots of people. So getting the feedback is really essential. Don't you think, Jeff? Go ahead and say something, Jeff and Jacqueline, and then I'm going to stop at the slide that I really want to focus on.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for us to restart, to re-energize ourselves, and to recommit ourselves as well. At the end of every year, we often reflect on how well we did, how we achieved our goals, how close we came, and sometimes how far we were from reaching those goals. But what I'd like to just counsel at this point, we make a lot of New Year's resolutions, right? And we oftentimes break them very quickly. What I'd like to do is to make some business resolutions. Let's talk about how we're going to recommit ourselves and reach higher goals with Uno Premier in 2022. And that, I think, is a great time right now for us to begin to plan, to set our goals, and make them achievable, make them realistic, but make them really based on what's important to you. What are your goals? What are your dreams? What do you want to get out of this business? And what get out is really a function of what you put
Go ahead.
I agree with you, Jeff. It's still, it's about where we headed from here.
So
My New Year's resolution is to
with
guide
that,
the community.
uh,
You know, we get a lot of negative feedback. Well, I'm gonna say
I'm establishing my New Year's resolutions for Uno right now.
So that's a plus. And
I'm sorry. There seemed to be a latency. You're still talking, Jeff, for whatever reason. Now it stopped, so it's fine. Please come back. I'm so sorry.
you know, I get a lot of negative feedback on my half, you know, but I see the results in me because I know where I was.
You look good.
And I thank you.
I can
And
see it.
I tell everybody, it's all about taking care of yourself before the ball drops. You know, my word is being proactive.
Mhm.
And this is what I'm showing my children. This is what I am showing people around me that, yes, GNC was my store. That was my store. GNC failed me.
Mhm.
So for the sake of people who don't know what GNC is,
Well, that's another health food store, you know, one of the #1 tops in the world. And I was a Gold Card member. I would go get my proteins, my supplements, my vitamins, and this was my routine for 30 years.
yeah, and you became the person that you are. You were a model. You were
Track
you were a
coach.
working mom. You were very, very successful, and then boom,
My body stopped.
RA hit you.
It hit me hard. It was like my body was empty. I'm putting stuff in, but it's like I was empty. And then when I had to go through all these, I'm not gonna call them stupid tests, because it gave me what I needed to know. And for a decade, I cried and laid in the bed, and people don't like it when I say it. Yes, I did talk to the birds and the bees and the dogs and the trees, because at that time, those were my only outlets and friends, because no one was listening to what I was saying or how I was feeling.
Mhm.
Then when Bronwyn came here to Ohio, I
It's a
said,
blessing.
what do I have to lose? I talked to them, and here I am now.
And I really appreciate that. If it look, I have to tell you, with all the challenges, the barriers, the infrastructure that was not in place before, and I tell you guys, as a US pioneering readers, we had nothing in the last 3 to 4 years to work with. We had a few products. The payment system was not, was iffy because there's only a handful of people here.
Right.
But I'm very, very happy that the UNO Board of Directors and the UNO company and my grand upline never gave up on me, because I was not about to quit. I'm not quitting. And I found some angels around me, and I sought them. They did not just fall on my lap. I sought them because I'm really, for one thing, I love the products. You know, my husband is a living testimony. His kidney failed. I gave him my kidney in 2008, and then after 15 years, it failed again. And the fact of the matter is, I really believe that what sustained him were UNO products. And then when COVID hit, we didn't get the products for over 5 to 6 months. And then by then, his kidneys was already shot. The kidney was shot. So now we're in this new journey. So going back to what Jeff says, what are you doing? What does 2022 look like? Now, my husband is not here. My son is here, who gave up, who donated the kidney. I can tell you right now, I'm doing this for him, and I'm doing this for my son. I, for one, I'm comfortable with the pension that I'm getting. I'm gonna live no matter what. UNO does not have to be my only source of income. And I'm only speaking for myself. And I'm just glad that people are embracing the products and they want to do more beyond consuming. As we know, we can work this account, we can work your accounts, and you can make money the way you want to do your business. and we are here for you. So the blessing is that, yes, there are willing volunteers, pioneering leaders, and grand uplines that want to make this work. And I still want you guys to really talk to your grand upline and say, hey, I want to invest in the US. I want to build in the US. I want to build in UAE. I want to build in Hong Kong. Demystify it for me, because the demand is not there. We're the only ones talking. But right now, we're going to be louder in 2022, right, team?
Yes, yes.
We got more people. The faces have changed. We are not Asian looking. I'm the only one.
I'm Asian too.
But the fact, and Ruth, but the truth of the matter is, we all need UNO in our lives, whether we want to feel better, whether we want to improve our lifestyle, whether we want to fill the void, if you are lonely or just want to have a purpose in life. I really feel, and a lot of people are backing me up, the fact that UNO is the answer for whatever your wants and desires are, whether it's money, whether it's a family, relationships. I mean, we have proven that through and through, right, Jacqueline?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So, and if you feel the same way, please go ahead and type in the chat. We'll read this. This is being recorded. So I want to go back to what has been our challenge here in the US. Can we all agree that US is huge? There's like, we talked about 4,000 million. If we ever look, even the Filipino, because most of our audience right now are Filipinos. Filipino Americans, there are 4.2 million Filipino Americans here in the United States. We don't have to tap them, but you have an opportunity to do that, especially if you are Filipino. California, we have 1.5 now million Filipino Americans. And those Filipino Americans, they have friends, they have relatives that are non-Americans. An example, my husband and Ruth is married to an American. So this was married to an American and about to, she's got a fiance who's American. So we're like the outside the box, but there's still wealth to be built, and this is what we're focusing on. The non-Tagalog, non-Filipino, but then again, we want to integrate. We want to have that fusion. And the only way we can make this happen is we demystify things, we talk about it. So I really want to provide this platform in the future, if UNO allows us, another structure that we can really roll our sleeves and keep working on. What is the magic sauce? Because when you really think about it, Jeff, you have to agree with me. With 50 states, we need to find out 50 different magic sauces.
Yeah, it's all about the opportunity. When we look at the business model that this company has been founded on, starting with the OFWs, right? That is a business model that has worked, and it has worked in over 14 countries on 4 continents. The opportunity for us today is to build on that business model. And when you talk about adding additional markets outside of the Filipino diaspora, we are talking about opportunity plus. So why not grab that opportunity? We have the opportunity to be international, not only country to country international, but culture to culture, race to race, ethnicity to ethnicity. This is a business platform that I don't know of any other company that has championed this the way that UNO has, and who has the opportunity to do it the way that we have the opportunity.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, for that insight. I'm going to take a moment to acknowledge that we do have our people, our other partners from Africa. I want to welcome them. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. We have Ola in the house, one of the stronger leaders in Nigeria. We have Jade, thank you for joining us. And Merle from New Jersey, I want to acknowledge that. Now, talking about a lot of Filipino Americans, how many Filipino Americans do you think you have in Missouri, in Lebanon?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm so busy with my life, feeding my children and all, working, but I don't know.
So
there's a lot.
Yes, so that's good, and I appreciate your honesty. And this is the reason why we have to have a platform like this.
Yeah, no, I don't have time to study anything, because here you have to work to survive, and that's all.
Right. So speaking of that, that's one of the challenges. People got to pick and choose, how am I going to spend time, with UNO, what it says, it promises, but we all know that if you don't work the business, it's not going to happen.
Yep.
And now tell us, remember, one of the reservations that Ruth had was that you're going to ask me to share. I don't have anything to share. I have not made major accomplishment. Coming from a structure like Ray Protestad, that's pretty high up there. So tell us about your reservations, why you didn't think you are worthy of our time, Ruth.
I'm just an ordinary person. Well, my premiere is not moving yet. My UNO is, but I'm really positive in this business.
But you've ranked up in Ray Protestad structure. You have ranked up many times.
Yeah,
especially when you work. When was it, like for 2 months you were down?
3 months.
3 months she was down, and she worked the business.
Yeah, and I was in the Fast and Furious too, because of all the structure that I have. I put up a lot of in this business, and but the UNO premiere is not moving because I just don't know how to move it. People are just like, I don't need it. I'm healthy. That's that's a networking business. So okay. I mean, I don't have patience. Yeah, I was really my Romo friend. This when I joined this business, it took me 3 months before because I was in another MLM company, and I'm still like, there's they have their products too, and so I was just here in America, Facebook is just the only outlet we have for our spare time, to talk to our relatives in the Philippines and friends and all that, and that's the only way to know what's happening in the world right now. So Facebook is really a good outlet to make your business big.
So that your involvement with Facebook and the way you were taught. So I want to emphasize the fact that every group has their way of marketing. Every group, like the Red Lions International, the Genesis, and in your case, you are Eagles.
I'm in the SOS
Scorpio.
system, Scorpio online support system.
So depending on who the grand upline is, they have their way of teaching, and they do stick, and correct me if I'm wrong, anyone can jump in. They do stick to the teachings of UNO, but they add to it based on their best practices. So your set of training may be different from the Red
others.
Lions.
Correct.
Your platform may be different.
Yeah.
So that going back to the challenge is, when you have an UNO Local account and an UNO Premier Plus account, you have really more support in the UNO Local.
Correct.
Because people that brought you in, they're always available. That's what they do 100% of the time. Whereas the challenge has been, here in the United States, there's only a few, and we are kind of scattered for the UNO Premier Plus. So the goal now is to galvanize a structure with many more people turning UNO Premier Plus accounts to maximize on that learning. So let me just go ahead and stop right here, and let's look at this slide that I prepared last night. Shane is here. Say hi to your honey.
Hello, honey.
Shane is back home in Lebanon, Missouri, but supporting Ruth here. All right, guys. What I did last night is put together Uno Local. So this is how I came up with. When I actually stayed home, more and more people reached out to me and saying, I want to build in the US. I want to build global. Help me, help me. So the first thing to do is I refer them to their grant uplines. And I say, hey, the way to work your business, because I'm not very familiar with Uno Local, is to talk to your upline and hold your hand, find the answers for you. That's how it's supposed to be. So and I said, if you are not able to get that information from them, you guys need to understand that if they are in the Philippines, they can only focus on the Philippines. And if there's only one or two US or global accounts, is that worthy of their time? You know, practically is that, hey, I'm building in the Philippines, I'm making all this money. Let's put you guys on the side first. And then the teaching is every single grant upliner, correct me if I'm wrong, is going to say, this is your business, work around it, find the resources, I'll get back to you. And the thing is, it's not their fault. They also want to maintain that momentum where they are. So my second advice to everybody, and I'm still stick to it, is connect with the Uno customer service, because they're the ones at the front line and have all the answers and are connected all throughout. One of the things that I'm proposing and our team is proposing is that with Gemma Lim is eventually have, and it's going to happen very, very soon, a structure that the US and global leaders will come together in a separate meeting, because whatever works for the Philippines may not work here in the US, may not work in Nigeria, may not work in, I'm not even including Hong Kong. Hong Kong is doing very, very well with their networking because they've been in the business for 12 years. They got their training down packed. They found their magic sauce, and they're very, very generous in sharing it with us, correct? So let's just think about the US as a whole. Let's talk about the US since we are the US. 50 states. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, you said something that really, really resonated with me, but I just want to look at it from a different perspective. What may work in the Philippines may not work in other countries. But I want to know what is working in the Philippines that can work in every country. Ruth, when you were down for 3 months, you built your local business. Well, what did you do to do that you're not doing with Premier or cannot do with Premier?
The way we what do you call that? The way I'm nervous. I need to breathe.
Well, let me help you out. You attended meetings.
Yes,
And you listen to your upline,
Mhm.
even though you have a lot of questions. And the reason why I'm saying I'm helping you out, you can elaborate on that. The reason why I'm saying that, because we talk on a regular basis. And although her first experience was negative because she was confused, she still kept at it because she believed in the
Yes,
system.
correct. Because of the way we advertise, is that the correct word?
Mhm.
Or the way we
Market and promote.
we market in the Facebook, the way my upline Rommel Fernandez, our is a grab, what do you call that? It's like grab, yeah, like, we show a lot of like,
You show the lifestyle.
yes,
You
like
entice
travel,
people with
like,
fast cars,
money,
stories,
yeah, correct.
monies. That's why they're waging dollar.
And then all
business.
of the, most people, that is what they wanted in life. I mean, correct,
Mhm.
you'll be stupid. You'll be stupid if you say you don't want to travel, you don't want money, you don't want fast car and all that,
And your target was the Philippines, right? Not the US.
No,
Tell
I'm
us
targeting
more.
both. I want to be
Okay.
I want to build a big empire.
So the time, what Jeff was saying is that the time that the 3 months that you had foot surgery, and then you set up your office, which I really loved. You set up your office at home.
Yes.
And you say you're gonna work this business no matter what.
Uh-huh.
And you started with listening to your grant uplines, attending all of the meetings, regardless whether it's English or Filipino, actually more of an English, right?
Mhm.
And
And,
that engraved in your head and it became your culture. And tell us what happened. You brought in some more people or you sold some product, you ranked up.
No, I don't sell any products. And to
Okay.
be honest with
So
you,
it's not working.
no, if um, I don't sell any products about, I use it. I'm, my family in the Philippines are using it. I don't know if they give it away, but it's all used.
Okay.
So if you tell me if, if I'm sell anything of the products, no, I didn't.
Okay.
But okay, I'm started sharing now.
Sure.
So okay,
Go ahead.
how did I start Uno? I just like most people here in the U.S. after work, we grab our phone and doing the Facebook.
Mhm.
So I just read about I have a friend. He's not here anymore, unfortunately. That posted about the Hinangan group about the business, and then said, "Oh wow, this is a good business. What is this? It's a system." So I messaged him, and then unfortunately, because it took me a while to sign up, I'm not under him.
Mhm.
So my upline Roman Brandes put me somewhere else. I don't know, but anyway, so. I signed up for it. I have the products in the Philippines. I give it out to my sister, and then it took me 3 months before I signed up because I have another business. And then it was one account for a long time.
Mhm.
Until until Billy Sagursor was the
Speaker and one of
speaker
your.
of Ray Protesta
meetings.
Tuesday Zoom meeting.
Mhm.
And because I'm just lucky that my fiance is kind enough to put me to have a Filipino channel in my house right now. So after work, I also watch Corinna Sanchez Rated K, and
Mhm.
that show it was Billy Silverstore's story telling about he's living in a railroad track without anything and struggling in life, helping his parents and all of a sudden, wow,
Mhm.
the cars, the money and all that. And I was focused, I was really into it. And I said, but I was frustrated at the end because Corinna didn't tell this audience what kind of business
Okay.
he was having.
So that was the
And I said,
hook.
oh my God, whatever you have Billy Sagorso, I want to get it. I want to help a lot of people. I want to help a lot of people. Not everybody is lucky enough to be this. To be in the US is lucky. It's very lucky because the government, when you have nothing, you'll still survive because the government will just.
That's what I've been
feed
telling
you.
them.
Right.
That's why it's hard. That's why it's hard to market in America because American government will feed you, clothe you.
Not only that, you have charitable organizations.
Yes, when you
that
are
would
sick,
help out.
everything. You just have to find it out. You just have to be smart enough to find the resources. Otherwise, if you're not smart enough to be in the US, you'll be dead. You'll be in the street like the you know why there's beggars and there's homeless in the US.
It's
That's their choice. That's their
Or
choice,
they're
people.
mentally ill.
Yes, people that they're scavenging for
Food in the
for
garden.
food and everything. Oh my God, I was really like, I know Filipinos are really stupid. For me, I mean, I'm not. Correct me. This is just the way I
That's
talk.
you, yeah.
Yeah, this is just me. They are like they're making millions just for scavenging garbage in the USA. Just oh my God, that's not the real world, people. You will never scavenge garbage in the trash can. Okay, you will have steak. You'll have fresh fruit and everything. You will have fine clothing, fine clothes. You don't need to be, you don't need to
be homeless. or
to be
not have
homeless and
anything,
everything.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Right.
because the government will just adopt you. The moment you step on the American soil is lucky, is very lucky.
Right.
You're right.
So but yeah, that's just how I wanted. So when the story of Billy Sagursor was featured in the Rated K, I was blown away. But I already signed up with the SL system at the time with one account.
Mhm.
So so when that story was featured to the Tuesday Zoom. And I said, oh my God, that's him. That's him. Oh my God. I was racing, but I was shouting. And you know, I'm the only one at the time in the house because it's you know, it's recorded. So, oh my God, Billy, oh my God. So, you know, I go on the YouTube channel. I watch the story again. And I said, oh my God, so I'm in the right business, you know, and then all I have to do is work on it. So I right away I contact Romo Fernandez and I said, okay, I'm gonna focus on this business. What will I do? So that's how, you know, that's how I signed up for 15 for local, 15 for all. So
And when she signed up, let me just interject that when she signed up, Romel, because we have this cross-line help, actually reached out to me and said, hi, Miss Detalla, Miss Bronwyn, I have somebody who wants to, can you help out? And obviously I said, yeah, let me help you out. And this is just to tell you the how things work out. When I was approached, I didn't know about the local accounts. I don't know, you know, how it would benefit somebody to purchase local accounts versus Uno Premier Plus. So I actually reached out to Jeffrey Pauly to find out, to advise her and to advise Romel how to make that happen. What I did is just connected them. Now, if I had known better, I would have been able to coach you. Now, there is no regrets because things happen for a reason. The reason why Ruth is here now, and like I said, when I posted on Facebook, we are having a candid conversation. And I like the fact that there are 27 participants right here and now hearing this conversation. So the biggest problem, the biggest barrier, I don't want to say it a problem, there's some issues that need to be resolved. And we have to identify this. In America, this is what we got to talk about the elephant in the room. People that we don't want to talk about because we think it's just going to go away, put under the rug. We're not taking that. I'm not taking that because we got to be transparent. We're all smart people. We don't have to work around the system, beat around the bush. This is America we're talking about. So let's do this. And we're going to continue about your sharing later. Thank you, Ruth. That was very powerful. And, you know, to add to that, the reason why I'm actually here talking to you right now, because like Ruth, when I started, I attended all of the meetings and red lines. I took off a whole week just to focus on learning the business and hearing all these icons telling about how they succeeded. Yes, I got bit by the Uno bug. Yes, I want to be like them because you can really see the transformation of these people. Like from people that you would look at them and not even think about looking at them twice, like they're nobody. And the transformation, the empowerment, the fact that they attended the training and they invested themselves, that they can turn around and be the person that they are today. A messenger, a security guard, somebody who's homeless, that are now, when you sit down and really hear them, I just listened to Billy Sagorsur do the pitch in local. I was blown away. The 11 minutes, my God, he used to be homeless. But
homeless, they have a house.
They had a house and a Tambay, railroad, they call it a railroad. So the fact is now this guy is talking to me and he has a handle on me. He kept me captive because of what he had to say. So to tell you, continue and attending all of the Zoom meetings, all of the gatherings, because there's always an aha moment. There's always something that would propel your business. Or if you feel like dying inside because nothing is happening, it's the truth. Ray Protestant, I cried many, many times hearing the same story. Why? Because I believe in that man. When I hear Warren Trinidad cry and Diane cry to share their story, I feel it. I felt like I succeeded myself. So yeah, go ahead and do what Ruth had done, what most of us have been doing. Stay plugged in. That's how you keep your dreams alive.
Yes,
and your vision.
The story of Warren, the story of Ray Protestant, the story of Warren. I already told. And that was later after Billy Sagorsor. So Billy Sagorsor is really the game changer for me. If
Yeah.
not of him, I will not invest a lot of money in this business. And honestly, yeah, that's it.
Well, you were really very bold, and we all have invested monies. We all have invested our time and resources. And I want to say kudos to the team here in Cincinnati too, because, like I said, we're doing this out of the goodness of our heart and of our passion for Uno. And we don't get perks from Uno. Let me repeat that. We're not getting perks. We wake up in the morning on Wednesday night, set up this whole talk show because we want to expand in the US. So let's look at this. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. This is the Uno Local versus Uno Premier Plus at a glance. Would everybody agree that one Uno Local account costs $8,098
Correct.
pesos? Forgive me, I'm gonna be saying dollars. The reason why I put this in pesos is because you can only purchase a local account in the Philippines, okay?
Correct.
I'm not talking about Uno Premier Plus account. We'll talk about that later. Now, you cannot build outside the Philippines if you have an Uno local account, okay? And the training, because it's local, is tailored only for local markets. Okay, do you guys have anything to add as far as Uno Local account when it comes to the structure and the network? And I have another slide about the compensation.
So sorry, I'm gonna correct that too, because
Mhm.
even if you are in the US, you can still have the Uno Local. You can buy Uno Local account.
Yes, you can.
And you can market that all over the world too. It's just that it's in pesos, and the money when you're in the my upline Romulo Fernandez, when he sent me money through Western Union,
Mhm.
because our PayPal is not yet working.
Right. And
before.
thank God that they now have that PayPal. Yes.
So that's good, because
Mhm.
if I make money, then it's gonna be in my PayPal right now.
Right.
And so yeah.
So yes, this is something that they work especially with OFWs, but the account resides in the Philippines,
Correct.
and the money goes into your Philippine account.
Correct.
So that's how limited Uno Local is.
Mhm.
Now let's go over to the Uno Premier Plus account.
Before we move over, can I ask a clarifying question? If you have a Filipino Uno Local account, can you work that internationally? Can you work that internationally, or can you not?
Yes, with the Filipinos.
Yes, with Filipinos,
Business partners.
but they are in the
They
the
are,
way
the
it is,
let me define that.
Okay,
You
so-
can, okay, so here's an
When you-
example. So when you purchase.
Local. So your product is basically in the Philippines only. So they're gonna ship that internationally for you, which costs you a lot of money. So
but it's not.
you have to have a friend there that you will give
Right.
away your products there. So if
So
exactly.
I'm glad you said
Yes.
that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
here's the difference between Uno Premier Plus and Uno Local. Uno Local, because let me move over. Let me stop for a minute there. So let's look at the Uno Premier Plus account. Okay, you can build a network outside the Philippines with ease. Why? Because the training is tailored to global audience.
Mhm.
And the customer service is in place in all international
Mhm.
offices. So that's it. Now, you can really say Uno Local account, you are on your own, because like what Ruth said,
With a guidance.
let me
from the
move up. They have to work closely with your Uno Local sponsor, correct? Now let's look closely this Uno Local compensation. Uno Local account costs $8,998, in which out of that, when you start building, you bring in 1,200 pesos. I keep saying dollars.
Mhm.
Out of that is 750 worth of products by way of gift certificates. You following me? So the cash that you get is 500 for every sign up,
And then 450, yeah.
and it becomes 450 because you have to be taxed.
No, I think, no, the gift certificate is 450 and the cash is 500.
The cash are,
So the
yeah,
total,
right. This is exactly what I'm saying here.
Okay.
If you see, it's 750 worth of products by gift certificates.
also that's a total of 1,200. I got
Yeah,
it. Okay,
so-
okay, got it.
What you have in mind is that you have 1,200 pesos with 500 cash, but since it needs to be taxed,
Mhm,
it brings it down to 450. That's hard cash.
mhm.
And then you end up with products, correct? And then with every fifth pair, they are, instead of cash, you are only gonna get it in gift certificate for products. Now, I'm gonna go over the next one. And every fifth pair is either Sodexo or I don't know what EGC is. Anyone care to comment?
Is it gift
So you can
certificate?
exchange it for grocery. So is that cash? No. It
Gift
is,
certificate.
it's a gift
Still
certificate,
the same as the Dexo.
right? Now, let's go over to the right. The Uno Premier Plus, it may cost you a little bit more, which is and you bought both local and
Yes.
Premier accounts. Philippine account, I'm talking Philippine account, okay? 1,000 pesos for every direct match. And then it's 1,000, an additional 1,000 for the direct pairing bonus. And then after the 11th match, the pairing bonus increases to 2,000. So I want you to look at the left and to look at the right. Now, on top of that, you also get royalty bonus and you also get unit level bonus up to 29%. Now for the, tell us more about, is there a royalty bonus in the local?
I don't even know what's royalty.
Anyone can please chime in, like I
I
said.
think they have, but it can only be as high as 10%, not
10%.
with Uno Premier, which is 20 plus 5%. Only 10% at the first level is the maximum, I think.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Kelly. Now, before I leave this, are there any questions or clarification? There's 27 people in the room. Most of them are grant uplines and sponsors, and they are not new to this. This is the time to help us out a little bit. Demystify if we actually got this right, or if there's additional information that we need to know about. Because the goal here is this. We know that UNO is mandating all UNO local account holders residing in the US and other countries to purchase an UNO Premier Plus account before they can work their business. I know some people have been operating in the past few years. Once they get the, and I don't blame them. Once they get the products, they ship them to the US, they ship them where they need to go, not through UNO, but through a friend and a relative or somebody to do it for them. Or they sponsor the trip to go to the Philippines and they bring them down, bring them in suitcases. Now you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I'm just because some of I have a friend, she's not under me, but she don't have the Premier yet, but she's in the US. Hi Bernadette, I hope you're here. So yeah, even if she is here in America, but her account is the last time I knew is only local.
Mhm.
So it still work. It still work even if you are. It's just that the products are in you know. I don't know if he tried the product. I tried myself because of the the premiere
Mhm.
of me and Shane. I'm really grateful for this lady here because she helped me. She and Doug helped me like
Move some of the products, yeah.
move of the product, so that helps,
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, even if you're in the US, if you cannot afford the Premier, because that's a lot of money, $250 every account, that still will work. It's just that the product is just hard for you to try if you will not connect with these people here, because they have the products here.
So,
That's all I know.
Where does Bernadette get her products from?
Oh, I don't even
Ask.
because she live in Missouri too. I don't know if she's. I invited her. I don't know if she's in the audience. Can you see if she's there?
so here's my,
Bernadette Koskin.
here's my assumption, and let me look at the chat box, and I will make sure that I do not miss any information here before we continue with our conversation. 1250 pesos per direct referrals upline in your locale. It will be divided into GC. Yes, we did go over that. Hi, Aurora. I'm glad that you're here. My question, in both accounts, are they able to, let's see here. She did not finish. Aurora, you may want to retype that, or just undo your microphone and ask us that question. So we pretty much covered,
Hello.
you know, the major differences. And I really encourage you guys, although Ruth said it's doable, but you know the poster that was posted from UNO saying you cannot operate your UNO locale in other countries. Now, if they do that, and they've been doing that, that's beyond us. We're not trying to expose people. We're just trying to let them know that maybe their best investment moving forward is to open up an UNO Premier Plus account.
Yes.
Now, some people may be hesitant in doing that, like what Ruth is saying. They have not experienced the local products, and we know the local products are amazing. Because we have an UNOpreneur here in the US, if you are an UNO locale account holder, we have serviced them. What you do is go to Happy Days, Healthy Days, I keep saying Healthy Days 365 store, and we're gonna provide that on the chat. And then once you place your order, now you have to understand that we work with export. So the prices there are suggested retail price through the export and official division in UNO, within the UNO international structure. And then of course, we have to add the freight that it took for us to get the products here, for Jeff to get the product here, and then also the local shipment from here. So I encourage you to do that. You know, and try, and if there are some that have already experienced the products, but they're in the Philippines and you guys are missing it, it's here. Now, we're gonna talk more about that. Aurora, you raise your hand. You wanna undo your microphone and then just go ahead and ask the question straight out?
Yes, I did. So I know that Local and Premier, they're all good as long as you're in UNO. But I'm just really wondering, I know that the Premier has the online account. So is that also Local is with online? Is just a matter of choice for a sponsor or the owner of the account?
So the question is, we know for a fact, and I've told everybody, that when we establish our UNO Premier Plus, it comes with a store. We are really the first ones that had an online store, the US online store 5 years ago. And Aurora is asking, is that the same with UNO Locale? Do you automatically get an online store?
I think so. When you have with the UNO Locale, no, with mine, I apply UNO Shop.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's ownership. Sorry, I misinterpreted it. I'm talking about ownership.
Okay.
Yes,
So
you have to get in the training to have the UNO Shop. Yes.
And
Okay.
Aurora, remember, they provided a concession for US account holders to have an Uno Local shop. And we paid our $80 fee to be trained, and it came with the products. So that was something that was offered to us because we were insisting to have it. So we're able to do that. Now, anyone can share as far as the Uno Local account. Do you automatically get an online store, or do you get the account and then you can open up an online store with a guidance with Uno Local? Ms. Kelly, anyone can chime in and let us know, please.
I think right now, if you sign up either in Uno Local or Uno Premier, you will get your online drop shipping account. It's just that you have to undergo a training so you can maximize your link.
That's Uno Shop training, yes.
For Uno Shop training.
And that before, they even give free training last Christmas, December.
Yeah, they're
18th.
doing it. I think there's a backlog of people getting that
And
training.
yeah,
too.
that's a good advantage because it was 2,500 for to have the Uno Shop, to have the store. Yes.
Okay, thank you. There are 29 folks. How are we doing so far with this discussion? Are we learning? Are we confusing you? Anyone who wants to chime in to shed a little bit more light about the difference between Uno Local and Uno Premier Plus, please go ahead and, or if you have any questions for us. And I appreciate you guys hanging out. I know it's late out there, and for you guys opening up your camera so we can see you. Are we bringing value to this meeting to demystify? So our goal really is, we're having this, and I hope we're going to continue, Jeff. We're hoping that we're going to continue with our Wednesday Global Business Preview, and we're going to make adjustments as we deem necessary. We're encouraging people like Ruth here, who's determined to work her US Premier accounts, and she made a commitment. And we need a few more people out there to make a commitment. Yes, US is a potential market for me, and I need to understand all this. Nisar, you raised your hand. Welcome. It seemed like you are new here. I have not seen you here before. Good to see you.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I hope everyone is okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I hope everyone is okay and best of health and wealth. So I just, my friend just shared this link with me. I'm just coming from work and I'm tired. I didn't join you earlier, but I guess this is the end of this session. So I just need a favor from you guys. If you can make again this session like on Saturday or Sunday or Friday, because these 3 days are off here. So it's difficult for the working
tell
days.
me, where are you and who invited you here?
Okay, I'm living in Bahrain. Basically, I'm from Pakistan. Okay, and one of my friend, Jane Mary, invited me.
Mary Jean
Yeah, she
invited
invited me.
him.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I just have a little bit chit chat with her about your business. So it seemed interesting, and I'm also interested in online businesses, but I need to know more details about that and like how it starts, how it will work, because I'm from a different country, and mostly I saw the post all are in Tagalog, and I know only little. I know only little, like okay, maganda, boset, like these things. Sorry, but
Thank you.
but I just yeah. So I just understand a little bit, and I can talk a little bit. But most of the posts are in Tagalog, so videos are in Tagalog.
You
I
are
just
you're definitely in the right place. I'm sorry to interrupt. because we feel you. That's the reason why we have this Wednesday Global BP. If it doesn't work for you, what at the very beginning when we came on, we asked if there are new people because we're gonna do the full-blown Global BP. We did not see you then, so we dived into some of the topics that most of us are interested in knowing. So I'm sorry that you got into the middle of this conversation, but I assure you, Nisar, we're gonna get back, somebody will gonna get back to you. Someone please note Nisar. And then he's requesting a special global BP in English. We can certainly help. You guys can schedule it. Let me see. And Nisar, if you can just put on the chat your contact information, your email and your cell phone, I'll make sure that somebody get back to you, and then we will make that happen. The Wednesday, the date that you said, you suggested Saturday, right? What was the best
Okay.
time for you to attend?
But Saturday is like celebration day for all over the world, I guess. So it will be difficult for you
We'll work out
guys to join.
yeah, we'll work out a schedule just for you because
Thank you
this
so
is
much.
what we really want to do. Are you interested also in building in the United States once we convince you that this is a good business opportunity for you?
I just know that this is a business, but I don't know the initial stages and what is the investment, what are the requirements, how we gonna do better and better. So there are many questions.
We have that
regarding
all for you. You just happen to come at a special time when we had a valued guest here. And so we kind of like ditched the global BP. So we do offer what we call the Zoom on demand. So I suggest that you talk to your friend who invited you and then set a date that's convenient for you. And we will come, one of us will come and do the global presentation for you. And so that's how we're gonna work out. So I appreciate your joining us. If you can hang out a little bit more, I'd like to talk more to our special guest here today. She flew all the way from Lebanon, Missouri to be with us. She has 15 accounts. Just to tell you, she believes in the product. So Ruth, I did prepare some questions, and if you just hang out for a little bit.
I just want to make. I just want to.
Mhm.
If not a Billy Sagurso story, I may not sign up for 15 accounts. To tell you honestly,
Yeah.
That's just how I was moved. So
Yep.
if somebody just invite me because of the products. So I already have a lot of product. I have vitamins, I've been taking a lot, I've been exercising and all that. So this is just the same story as, the others, just the other MLM company. So one of the things that made Ray Protestad #1 until now, it's because of our strategy. Like in the US, we are just lucky that the government, have it. So it's really hard to move in the US. Technically, it's hard to move in the US because if you're there's just free everywhere. But
He's right.
It's true.
it's true. I mean, you don't have to scavenge, food and everywhere. You just have to be smart enough to find resources. There's free everywhere. That's how I survive here.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that though, because of the group that's formed, when you become part of the network, you become family.
Mhm.
So there are lawyers, social workers, doctors, you name, all walks of life, nurses, healthcare providers. When you build a network, these are the resources that you turn to. And so you are never confused. We offer, like, I am so happy to have Jeff in my life because Jeff happens to be a board at the Cincinnati, a board member at the Cincinnati Health Department.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
He owns his own company, Healthy Days 365, and he runs this wonderful building. So I'm blessed. Who
Mhm.
knew?
Yeah, you're lucky.
Right.
And with my experience here in the US, like I was here 2010. We migrated from the Philippines 2010, and then the reason why we, God is really good, because if not, my husband was sick
Yes.
in the
Let's talk about
Philippines.
that.
If he was not sick, we will not be able to move here.
Right.
Because we're just fine here, we're just fine in the
Yep.
Philippines with the
Mhm.
little money that he got. But God really want me to be here with my two children. So he was sick, and then have the radiation therapy and the chemotherapy. Oh my God, the bill is 50,000, 20,000. The time he was dead, it was $300,000. And I said, oh my God, how in the hell will I pay that shit? That's $300,000. So I was just lucky to be smart enough to find resources.
Yep.
So I talked to because I was university Philippine students too. With
And by the
my
way,
story.
she's a very smart person too. She was valedictorian.
Yes,
in
my
school.
story is just my story is an open book. I want to be a doctor, but unfortunately we are poor, and to be a doctor when you're poor, that's just a dream. But to make the story short, I was my sister don't want me to be a doctor because that's expensive, so she sent me to be a teacher. And I was when I was in San Juan Polytechnic College in San Juan Southern Leyte, I was the Dean's Lester too, and I said, oh my God, this is easy, this is not what I want. I don't want to teach. You're a teacher. So I find a way. I go to I surf on the internet. I have a friend from University of the Philippines, Tacloban. I asked her, how can I enter University of the Philippines, Tacloban? Because that is the story from when you're poor. That's the only way that you can finish what you degree you want.
Higher education. Yep.
So, but it took me a while for that, and because I was smart, so I took the test for a transfer students. So when I was there, it's hard, and so I dropped. I get credits and all that, but everything, yeah. So so when I come in the U.S., I have the 300,000 bill from the doctor. And I said, there's no way I'm gonna pay this shit. So I talked to the billing department, and I said, okay, Medicare and Humana and all that, we take up all and everything. And I said, okay, so I count to $18,000.
Wow. See?
So I said, $18,000, that's still a lot of money, and there's no way I can, because I only work 8 hours an hour. I work as a CNA, I'm a certified nurse assistant, and there's no way I can pay that. I have 2 children with me. I have a dying husband there, and there's no way I can pay it. And don't worry, we'll find help from you. So finally, when my husband was dead, I go to the billing department. I stated all the bills that I have, like your mortgage and all the little things that and I find to zero. Like the money that I made it's not enough to cover the hospital bills. So I applied every, those
every grant,
every grant
yep.
in the hospital. So for those who are in the US, every grant in the hospital, I applied for that. I was approved because I don't have nothing, and it was zero bill on yeah, it was zero bill on my bill. So that's how smart I am, that the reason why Filipinos are really struggling in the US, they thought they struggle because they're just not smart enough to find the resources, which is here everywhere.
Yeah, and like I said, the fact that when you do decide to build a network and you do decide to be among a pool of people that are like-minded, who want to lift everybody to prosperity, not just by financial gain, financial knowledge, You know, one of the examples that I want to stress is the fact that in Bahrain, when they built Bahrain, they ran in the premise that we are a community. We'll help you build your finances through UNO. They had realtors there, they had investors, they bring in knowledgeable people. They have a pool of people that would share some resources for people who need the resources and the things that they need. So that's the beauty of being part of a community like this.
Correct.
So I encourage you all, this is not like Jeff said, and Jacqueline realizes, because Jacqueline's been with me going on 5 years, the fact that you can tap in not only the US resources, you can tap into the global resources. And the greatest thing is that we get invited to other places and we are not a stranger because they will receive us, correct? So we're excited about that invitation from UAE for us to come and visit. Now, Ruth, I'm looking at, I did share some, I know you shared quite a lot already, but let me just hone in. Where you talked about how you joined UNO and why. This is good. And I also want to talk about there was some struggle at the very beginning, and I really want you to define what the struggle was. When you signed up, when you have this hopes and dreams that you're gonna make the money right there and then, and you did make the money. I saw the checks from multiple accounts when they started matching, and bringing in a lot of people. You built 15 accounts. So there was a struggle internally and emotionally if you made the right decision. And obviously you're still here with us because you want to, in 2022, you're committed to work this. So in your years with that struggle, this is the question that I offered. So in your years with UNO, what has been the most challenging obstacle that almost made you quit? And how did you overcome it?
Well, quitting is not in my vocabulary because like I said, if you attended every training, that's the only way to make your business and this business successful. If you are present in every training,
You're plugged in.
yeah, you're
Yep,
plugged
you
in
learn
and present
and
in
you
every
apply.
training that you are, but that your upline or your group is in it. So even if I'm working, because I'm a factory worker here, that's my full-time job, and so we have the headset. We were just lucky that we can sew and have headset all the time. So I'm present all the time without the cameras because we're not allowed the camera.
Correct.
So quitting is not in my vocabulary because I already see the results from the uplines that I have. So it's never in my vocabulary. So
Good. So that's how you came. You believed in a business opportunity. You believe in the people that talk to you, the icons that have what they call best practices and accomplishments, that they're able to talk to the world and how UNO really made a difference in their lives, not only in their lives for the people, but also for the people around them and the people that they sold the opportunity to, and they continue to thrive. Good. Talking about Ray Protestad, I did cry when he told his story. And people take it for granted that when you succeed and you are up there, and then when pandemic hit, he went back to zero. He went back down to zero. And that was like a humbling experience. And all he could think about, correct me if I'm wrong, I know you've heard the stories a lot of times, and I have too, because when I feel like quitting, I think about him.
correct.
When he is in tears saying, like, I love my downlines, I don't want to fail them. Lord, what are you telling me? And for him, in spite that he knows he's not bringing in the money, for him to go out there and buy sacks of rice and sacks of
Correct.
food to make sure that his downlines
Are
and
fed,
people in the
yes.
community do not get hungry.
Correct.
I mean, that is amazing.
Yeah, and that's how Romel Fernandez also helped, with whenever you're in his group, if you want help, he will adopt you in his house, in a little house.
Yeah.
And then so how he helped his family too, because I'm a family oriented.
Mhm.
So like he came from separate parents, so he built a house for his dad and mom, and yeah, and then the birthday party also, I was blown away too. And I said, or, like, giving the motorcycle and all that, because in my life, I also spent that much money. I bought a brand new car, Chevrolet, for my dad for Father's Day last 2016. And then I 50th wedding anniversary 2018. It was the most lavish 50th wedding in our town.
Wow.
So I'm a family oriented. I want to help, not only because with my resources, I was working in the US. It's only my family that taking advantage of it, because I'm not making that much of a money. So my focus is only in my family. With this business, with the help of the mentors and all that, not only with myself, but also, people, under me and all that. So yeah, that's how I was moved with this business, helping it, helping people, improve their lives.
And I also want to emphasize the fact of when people say, and Ms. Kelly, please, you can add on to this, the fact that the cross-line support, we are one group, you are one group.
Correct.
But actually we come together and then we feature our success stories. And one of the speakers or all of the speakers resonate with anybody, with everybody. And so, like I said, I cannot really emphasize enough how you need to stay plugged in if you want to work your business. Kelly, you got anything to add?
I just want to share before during the pandemic time when my aunt had COVID, and then I asked Miss Bronwyn to help me to ship the products to her in California. So, but Miss Bronwyn and I didn't really personally meet yet. We just met in Zoom, but there she was, really willing to help me with that. So I really appreciate, and also, our every Wednesday gathering, meeting a lot of different distributors, not only from the US, but also in other countries, UAE, Hong Kong, really make me feel that this is not just a business, but a family, worldwide family. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. And I also want to add to that, it's not that I'm not giving myself all of the credit. The fact that our uplines, like Miss Diane, Ray Protestant himself is a Facebook friend of mine, and there's no status quo in this world. And even William Barbo, you can message him and he will respond to you. I mean, that's how close knit this family is, and that's why I really feel good about that. And Miss Kelly, I appreciate the fact that you spent an hour with me to teach me about video editing. So talking about the network, guys, there's no excuse for you not to succeed, because if you are lacking on a skill or knowledge, you can always reach out to someone else. Okay, and that's why we're talking these things here, because we really want to be transparent. We're not perfect, especially trying to navigate a world that's unknown to a lot of people. It's just, and I see that we do have Starstruck Lorena from Bacolod. Thank you so much. If you would just mute your microphone, we can continue. I have a couple more questions, and then we're going to do the Kodak moment. I'm going to allow a few of you to talk, including my team members here in Cincinnati. So, Miss Ruth, I want to know, and you guys can think about that within yourself too, if you want to share your personal experience, because this is like what Jeff said, and all of us in mind, this is a new year, 2022. We reflect on the things we've done in the past, COVID or no COVID. I know COVID really put a damper on a lot of our vision. The fact that moving forward, what we want to do is talk about our accomplishment. So fast forward years from now, so when you're sitting in front of the fireplace in a cold Missouri winter. And in front of your grandchildren with Bruce and
Frederica.
Frederica. So you have the chance to tell them about your proudest moment. It can be UNO related, it cannot be, or non-UNO related, but this is your opportunity to tell us what the proudest moment
Well,
is.
my proudest moment was when my family don't give up on me because I was in my teenage life because I'm really ambitious and I want to be a doctor and I don't and that's why I was crazy for that. Like I put it in my head and I was meant for all I was in the mental hospital in Mandaluyong for 3 days.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I was evaluated. Yes, I was crazy, and I was taking antipsychotic medication for that. I was just lucky that I have aunt and in the US who helped me with the United Doctors Medical Center. So I was admitted there, and only Filipinos that have a dollar account will enter in that hospital. So I was treated good, and then I was evaluated what my problem is, and so they said, okay, you want to be in college. So my sister and my brother-in-law, after that, so they sent me back in our province. I was there, so I sent in college, but I was still not in to be a doctor. So that's what I said before. So my sister sent me to be a teacher.
A teacher, yes.
And I was dance lister and all that. So I still find a way going to the University of the Philippines, and it's really hard because it's been 4 years that I didn't do anything. So, you know what? If only I was sent right away after high school, I can do this. But God is good. He gave my sanity back, and that's why in college too, because that is where I have a friend that give me that little, because even if I'm most Filipinos are anti-Americans. They say that Americans give AIDS. Americans don't give, they're just, I just don't understand why.
Americans don't mind their own business.
Yeah,
and leave
like
our country alone.
Americans make us slave. Americans, it's because of how you treated yourself. No one will make you slave. No one will demand and ask you everything that you are not without your permission. Like me, I don't cook at home. I don't clean at home unless I wanted to. It's in my terms and not everyone's terms. You don't like me, I don't give a shit. That's just me. And also, yeah, I'm just lucky that my family don't give up on me and help me throughout. And with that, whoever that friend of mine, classmate of mine in the University of the Philippines that gave me that islandgirl.com, which the website is no longer now. Mm-hmm. That's www.islandgirl.com. That's the website that Americans have wanted to marry a Filipina. So I go there. So I sent 4 pictures, and then from there I have tons of letters, and I cannot afford them. That's how I met my husband. So wow. I was not doing anything, and then my parents don't want me to go anywhere because they said you'll be crazy, you'll be talking in the street. They are like, so
they're afraid that
I'm gonna have a setback because it just elapsed everything. Yes. I was crying and all that. I was just I was crazy. I'm telling you. I'm not crazy now.
I love you, Ruth. I really love that she's so open.
I love you too. So
this is a candid show. Isn't that wonderful? Thank you so much.
I'm just telling you, there's hope, guys. There's hope. Don't just lose hope, because as soon as you're breathing, there's still future ahead of you. You just have to believe in yourself and believe in your capacity, and no one
Make you
will
feel
make-
inferior.
Yes, unless
without
your
your
consent.
permission.
Correct.
That's right.
You just have to be honest with yourself and trust yourself. That's all. Because everything that I have now, everything that well, I don't have anything except
You
myself.
do have a lot. You have a house that's already paid for. I mean, this woman has got a house that's already paid for. That is an accomplishment. That's
No,
something, the
it's not.
story to tell to your grandchildren. Everyone owns a car note or pay rent, and you're good. You're good to go.
Yeah,
So I
because
want you to, I'm so happy that you're here telling your story. That's a phenomenal story. Don't you guys agree?
Yes.
Because mental illness in the Philippines they don't talk
Yes.
about it. And may I add, may I add that cryptogenic helps with that mental state too. So, this is just so amazing how you may not have ended to be a doctor,
Mhm.
but an opportunity presented itself that you're able still to help people
Mhm.
through this business.
Correct.
And I know you have not been active about the products,
Mhm.
so I want you to make a commitment with
Yeah, I
us
will.
that you're gonna learn food supplement orientation. Hopefully Jade and Jeff are gonna whip it up so we can have something moving,
Uh-huh.
in that direction, all English. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna heal people. We're gonna advise them and counsel them because we've been there. So thank you, Ruth.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
that.
if not of my family, I'm not. Oh my God, that medicine, I didn't take it for a long time now because that's really strong, and you'll be sleeping all the
Okay.
time with
That's
that
what they do.
medicine.
They
I
don't
know.
just
So,
suffer that.
Yeah, you will
It's a
sleep.
Band-Aid
You will
effect.
sleep from morning till night. You'll wake up. Oh my God, you're just sleepy. That just
Mhm.
so for a long time now. Thanks God, for a long time I'm not taking that, and I'm not hoping to take that anymore in my life because yeah, I'm good now, and I'm good where I'm at right now. So
Very, very good. Thank you so much. And for the last question, and I know I already encourage you to make a commitment to learn more about the products, learn about what it does to people. And, so what now that you have the power, you have empowered yourself, you have always been a strong woman, you know what you want. If you don't want to do dishes, you don't do the dishes. No one can tell you shit. I envy you. I love to be you. And I love that you are just the woman that you are. So tell me, with what you know now and your new circle of friends that we are going to be connecting, including Jeff and Jacqueline, and you're going to meet the rest of the Cincinnati team. Tell me, what is your vision for your Uno vision in 2022?
oh my God, I don't know if I have a vision. I just one thing about me, I live my life on a daily basis.
Okay.
I don't. Of course, we have dreams and hopes in the future, but with the depression that I have, I don't like.
And
to
I know
expect
from our,
more.
the expectations.
Yeah,
Now,
expectations
Jacqueline,
really hurt.
Talk to us about, isn't that one of the common thread that we talk about when we are down
Yeah.
and out? Tell us about not expecting too much from
Now,
people.
my story isn't as strong as yours,
Mhm.
but when I walked into that flea market that day, my word, I was broken. Depression. Oh, I was under depression. I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't figure out what just happened to this. I had a job. I had a home. I had cars. Now I'm in my brother's basement by choice. I'm under.
Mhm.
When I walked into that flea market, holding on to the walls, had my cane, and I walked into that room, and it said God's Pharmacy. Nothing else was in there. Nothing. So it wasn't like I was influenced for what was in there. It was what I saw in them words.
I was still unpacking.
I knew whatever was going to be in this room, I needed to hear about it. And Bronwyn and Doug told me, try these products. Doug said, I'm gonna guarantee, I'm guaranteeing. I'm like,
That's Doug.
I said, well, you know what? If you guarantee that this is gonna help me, when I get my check on the 3rd, I will make myself a partner because my pain was so bad. I saw pain. You don't see pain. I heard pain. You don't hear pain. I'm talking to the birds and the squirrels. That's how bad I was. But no one saw it because I took care of myself.
Correct.
For 30 years. But it started to show. I saw the way my eyes were looking. My eyes looked like I was in pain. But when I started drinking the prime juice, I had to eat 5 of the NutriFad just to make my mouths move. But it was the point that it did. It lifted my spirits from where it was. And it was like, I'm gonna say what we said, this shit is real. This works. So from 2018, August, I think my anniversary date is September the 24th. I've been a member, I've been using the product and my spirits are up. I'm smiling. I don't see or hear pain anymore.
That's good.
My doctors, I only got 3. You taking supplements? I'd be like, boom. I said, yes, I am, because I know they're important, but I'm taking supplements. That blew them away, like, huh? And I gave them information. And I got pictures, meaning they knew what I was doing to make me feel better because, as you said, taking that medicine, I was sleeping.
Yeah.
I slept all day, all night, when you gonna eat? You can't eat if you sleep.
Correct.
You can't get better if you sleep.
Correct.
Now, do I have to take medicine? Yes, I do. Because no matter what, I didn't find out none of this till late. The damage is done. I was an actor.
You look good right
And
now.
I was a model.
I really like the fact that, Jacqueline, I'm glad that you mentioned that, the fact that, yes, you're still taking medication. And Miss Aurora is here and I commend her in her situation. She's not taking any more synthetic medication.
Right.
So each case is different. There's no, every one of us have different experiences with the products.
Right.
So it's really important that you stay plugged in with the people that offered you the products. That's the beginning of your success, okay? The fact that there are, and I don't want to miss out on these comments here. Thank you guys for, whoever's recording this, I really do want to capture the comments that we're getting. One of the things that Python says, thank you, Mom Ruth. I could, let me see, I salute you and want to be like you. She's in Bahrain.
Oh,
And then thank you, Team USA. It's my privilege always to be here. Belated Merry Christmas and this is from Maridel. I have to go now. Bye-bye, but I'm good to see you again, Maridel. So I have stopped sharing. Right now, as we wrap up, I do want to have an opportunity to have Jeff talk about what is your aha moment in this session. And anyone, please feel free. I'd like to not maybe a few more minutes for everyone to let the bottom of their heart. What is their take of the Zoom? Okay? And what do you want to hear more of as we plan for the next Zoom, future Zooms?
Well, if I can just say a few comments, and Bronwyn, if you could just mute your volume. If I can just say just a few comments on some of the many things that you said, Ruth. You have really, really touched me during this session. And I'm sitting here saying, how grateful I am and how blessed I feel being here in the United States. Last month, being visited by Aurora from the West Coast. This month, being graced with your presence. You know, you're right here in the Midwest with us, and I can't wait until we reach our business partners in New Jersey and in New York, and you come and visit us as well. But I only wish that there were 50 Native Americans as well as 50 Filipino Americans listening to this Zoom session today, because you have said some very, very inspiring things that have given me a totally different perspective of this country that I live in. And when I think of how would I describe you, I'm sitting here, I'm like, you are so tenacious and bold, and to be able to say, you know, you Filipino Americans who cannot make it in the United States, it's because you are not applying yourself. Well, that very same message goes to every Native American here who says, because you're not applying yourself, Ruth says, I am so proud that you're on our American team. This is a message that we needed to hear. Now, how do I describe you? There is a new term that has crept into the common parlance here in the United States. When we look at somebody and say, you know, we used to say, they've got it all together. They're a complete package. You know, they really have it going on. Well, the new word is, you are a badass. You can champion anything. And I am just so proud once again that you are part of our Team USA. Thank you so much.
It's an honor.
She's an angel, so yeah, it's an honor.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that summary. The fact that, you know, this is it. For those of you, I've opened up the what we call in the US, the Brady Bunch, you know, all these frames. Dagumay, I hope you're I mean, you know, Emmeline has been really instrumental in demystifying some of the things that we don't know about. And we're going to continue this conversation because that's the only way it's going to work. Am I correct? Emmeline, would you care to comment, you know, share a few words, because I do respect your wisdom and your hierarchy. And next, I'm going to ask Miss Diane to speak.
Hello,
We can hear you.
everyone. Good morning. I'm afraid my internet connection, yeah, my internet connection here is not stable actually, but I am always excited to attend the USBP because I always have the chance to learn and to get some news worldwide. So hearing news from different places of the globe, it's really a big opportunity for me. And I believe I can use those news, those updates. I can use all of them in while doing the business. And I really salute the US team, the US core, and of course, Ma'am Kelly, no. It's always a privilege for me to join the USBP, and I know for sure because why I'm doing this because I really believe no doing Uno this is the global. I am proud that I am here in this company because imagine I am here in Tacloban City and then my business has a global reach, and then I have cross lines in different places that they're able to help with a heart. I can say that no without asking in return. And the beauty of this business also inspire me always to continue. And recently I mean lately I was really inspired by Mom Ruth We are FB friends also, so I'm watching her post on Facebook, and I am one of the people that inspired by her stories. And then I'm always excited to see news and updates of Mom Bronwyn posting. So, and I'm really inviting always people to attend in this BB, because I'm also building one of my downline in South Carolina. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to attend now, but sooner or later, I know she will attend, and she's very excited to be part of this Zoom on every Wednesday. And thank you so much, Mom Bronwyn, for this opportunity to say
You're
something.
welcome.
Happy New Year,
I think you mentioned
everyone.
South Carolina. My son is in South Carolina, Columbus, South Carolina. So Douglas James Payne, he's the one who offered his kidney to his dad a couple of weeks ago, and he's here with us. So reach out, we can connect and we can help each other. We're building in the US. Guys, I'm gonna say this again and again. Miss Diane, before I turn over to Miss Diane, is it okay for you to speak? You can say no. And then you just, I just want you guys to know that for the past 5 years, there's always been a barrier in building the US. Whether it's the products that are not here, the payment gateway that has not been established, the stores, the lack of local testimonies. Now for the past 5 years, and especially in the last 2 years, ever since we've been in this building here at the Dillard Center, we have managed to collect testimonies after testimonies of US-based people that have experienced the products. And the payment gateway is working. One of the challenges before was the payment gateway and Bank of America. Bank of America, for those, and this is really a critical point that I want you to remember of how God is so good to UNO and the people who want to embrace UNO here in the United States. A few years ago, Bank of America shut down. You cannot find a single branch in the United States. I came here in Cincinnati. I had the same issues trying to remit the money here and there. This was before PayPal. This was before all of this payment gateway got in place. The fact is now there's tons of Bank of America. Miss Diane can tell you, I'm so frustrated. I got the money here, Miss Diane. How am I gonna transmit it? You know, because it has to be at the Bank of America. Then I have to go travel, drive a couple of hours to a Bank of America so I can hand them the money. Now within my fingertips, we can transact. So that answered our, the biggest, one of the barriers. So now, ladies and gentlemen, and I want you to remember this. If you ever want to build the United States, we got everything that we need. We have everything. We have the products, whether it's local or premier accounts. We have the payment gateway. Bank of America, within the push of a button, you're able to remit. We are working on to perfect the customer service, the American way. So we are growing, the Americans are growing. Some people here, if you turn on, these are the faces of what America looks like. There are 50 opportunities, 50 cultures. We got it. We have the training. We all have access to all of the trainings from UNO, and we have English training that we can do, food supplement orientation. There is no excuse for us not to be able to relaunch. Correct. As a matter of fact, there is no excuse that we cannot hard launch the USA. Woo-hoo! So we're gonna make it. And Miss Diane, if you don't mind, tell us a few words to keep us going into 2022. We've been dying to hear from you. You don't have to open your, you don't have to. You don't have to open your video. I understand it's late there and you have babies to take care of. Oh, sorry. Here. Yeah. All right. Okay, so let's do the Kodak moment. And guys, let me see, Nathan, please, can you send me the link to this recording? Because we had a lot of conversation here that's really worth collecting and sending to people in case they need to know more about what transpired. This is the last Zoom for this year, and then we open up next year. Aurora, it's good to see you. So Nathan, I would love the recorded link and also
I'm also doing the recording, Miss Bronwyn. I can share the link later.
Can Miss Kelly, I'll let you go ahead and facilitate what you do best to encourage people to turn on their video cameras. And thank you all for being with us today.
All right, guys. Let's turn on our cameras for our groupie. Again, thank you also, Ma'am Ruth, for sharing your inspiring, very touching story today. Okay, guys. Let's put an Uno premiere sign. 1, 2, 3. All right.
All right, thank you guys. Great job. It's 11 o'clock. Thank you and hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Oh, you know
Year.
what? You know what? Wait a minute. Your birthday's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye.
Birthday.
And Jacqueline, can
Thank
you
you so
please
much. Happy New Year.
end us with
Ma'am
a
Ruth, thank you so
sing-along
much.
happy
Ma'am
birthday,
Bronwyn, thank
then we're
you.
gonna close this meeting.
I only know how to sing it upbeat. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Well, you know, it's not a coincidence that people seem to want to spend their birthday with this Cincinnati team. As you know, Aurora's birthday was last month and she came to be with us. And now it's Ruth. So any more birthdays? Hey, the red carpet is open. Please come and visit us here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy birthday, Ruth.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.